Hello, dear friends. This is Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls. We're studying the book Deus Aguarda, God Awaits. This book, by the Spirit Meimei, through Chico Xavier, is a single opportunity for us to practice opening our hearts. It's about the feel the good, okay? We know so many things. We think about the teachings we've heard about Jesus, and we think of the teachings of Spiritism. But at the end of the day, how do we go from knowing to doing? There is this bridge that is called feeling. We need to practice feeling. We don't know it, but that's okay. That's why we're reincarnated. We're reincarnated to learn. I know many people who come and say, "Oh, how come I don't know? I'm stupid, I'm dumb," and they start beating themselves up for not being able to be coherent. But more than anything else, it's important to know that we are here to learn. That's why you are reincarnated. That's why I am reincarnated. That's why we are reincarnated. And that's why we exist. Our essence is we are learning beings. You and I, we are learning beings. And isn't there a joy in itself to know that by principle we expand, we evolve, we progress? It's a happy, happy life. Then that's why today, talking about happiness, we are studying chapter 13 of the book Deus Aguarda, God Awaits by Meimei. She titled this chapter Happy Heart. You see how Meimei, it's all about feelings. Feeling the good, feeling the good, feeling the good. She gives us the reasoning, the rationale behind it, but she invites us to feel sweet and kind Meimei. Yesterday, when we were studying the previous chapter, she invited us to practice thinking of others people's wishes and hopes first, withholding our own worries and wishes and needs in order to give way to the needs of others. Do we do this? Did you do that? How was your experience? We hope it was a beautiful experience that lasts to immortality, because it's the law of charity, right? And if we do, what's the natural consequence? A happy heart. Yay! It is a happy heart. So for us, we're invited today to read and study with Meimei, chapter 13, Happy Heart. Beloved soul, listen. If you can answer, even if imperfectly, to the call that life entrusts you, give thanks to God. If a needle strikes you, if a burden comes in, assist, forgive, and continue on the route. Where the way points you to good deeds or to the good, remember how many beings even today cry desperately under a somber fight of those that to revolt give in, blinded by rebellious sins. How many lie on their bed, putting their last hope on death? How many fall to the screams of remorse in the culpability that devastates them worse? How many cry in vain the hours they have lost? Remember so many people in tears next to us, and not even for a fraction of a single moment. Do not complain of sorrow or in suffering. Rise above and find a way to proceed to extend the good within our reach. If you can work, do not stay in bitterness, scars, sadness, or deceit, because by serving others out of love, already, as a gift of God, a happy heart you have within. Think about this. If you're able to give, to think of others, Meimei is saying, you already have a happy heart. I think these are good news. These are good news for you and for me, right? Because we come from lives in which we judge ourselves and others too harshly. And we rarely appreciate ourselves. Rarely. We rarely practice this self-appreciation, self-love, and self-approval. And then we seek this approval from others. We're always in this needy mode, asking for somebody. But God already approves of you. Vanessa, how do you know you exist? How do you know you're breathing? How do you know God is giving you another minute? So God trusts in you. It's not a given. This rational is an effort of the Spiritist teachings, a gift to us. It is this universal concept that we are children of God, loved by God, and above all else, if we're able to think of others first, we call it altruism, the ultimate virtue for sure. Science already proves to us that if we practice altruism, putting other people's needs first, we live a happy life. We live and lead a happy life. And we have a happy heart. Give and give and give. Why not? What else are we here to do? Let's answer this question. What are we here for? Are we here to take care of our lives and make a beautiful house, have beautiful cars, beautiful family, health and wealth and intelligence and fame, and then something big is lacking here: the relationship with the world. We cannot keep ourselves attached to anything. So at the end of the day, if you go to the book Heaven and Hell by Kardec, it says, detachment is the key word. Detachment. At deathbed, when we die physically, the physical body dies and we are to discarnate, two processes, okay? One is the body dies. Did you know that death is when the body dies? The spirit doesn't run away. Some people say, oh, I'm so resentful because my loved one went away and left me here. No. People don't have that choice unless they commit suicide. But we can only leave this body when this life does not sustain our connection, spirit and body. Okay? Mark it down. But even though the body may die, the discarnation, which is the detachment from the perispirit's connection to the physical body, there is an important aspect here: the bonds that connect the spiritual body with the physical body depend on the level of our attachment. But it's not only to money, it's to personality, family things. nationality. Nowadays we see many people talking about my nation, the proud of patriotic. I mean, we have to love and respect our nation, to admire it, but not in spite of other nationalities. That's not even Christian. We're seeing the levels of rejection to immigrants around the world being challenged, the acceptance of immigrants. And at the end of the day, we ask, today you think you're better than the other one. Tomorrow you reincarnate where you think you were more of. There is even a book by Dr. Seuss that talks about this for children. The snitches. Yeah, the snitches, they had a star in their belly. They thought they were better than the snitches that didn't have it. And it's a beautiful, cute story that talks about how they mix and match, and at the end of the day, they realized it's nothing to do with it. So, when we go back to the book Heaven and Hell, we can't forget first chapter of the second part of the book Heaven and Hell. Kardec explains to us that if we're too attached, we're gonna make the connection between physical body and spiritual body so close together that it's gonna be hard to discarnate. We're gonna suffer. So what do? Cultivate impermanence and detachment. Impermanence and detachment. When I read the message that Meimei is giving to us in a very poetic way, she's saying, beloved soul. And she says, you know life is calling you. Pay attention to the people who need help. If you do it, you have a happy heart. Do not complain. Detach. I can only be altruistic if I am more detached than the average. Right, Teresa Castro? She's reminding us, thank you. Sunshine, our dear Sunshine, is running these beautiful studies at Kardec Radio at 9 p.m. every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about the beautiful accounts of the spirits who talked to Kardec at his time, from happy spirits to criminal spirits, suicidal spirits, spirits that are idle, etc., etc. So you're gonna love it. Every Sunday at 9 p.m. Sunshine is leading beautiful study sessions, right? And Miriam Weldil is saying, so blessed to have heard the notification for this. I truly needed to hear whatever message is meant for me. Thank you. So, okay, so let's go back. When do I have a happy heart? When I serve others out of love. Bottom line. Meimei kindly is reinforcing to us to be compliant to the law of charity. What is charity again? Giving money? No, it's beyond it. It doesn't restrict to that only. It's about being of goodwill towards everyone. Benevolent. Volens means will. Bene, good. Being benevolent. Be of goodwill towards everyone. Funny enough, I'll give you a case, okay? Chico Xavier, I've got to know recently through a book, a biography through Chico Xavier. One day, this beautiful book, Paul and Stephen, that was Psychograph, his preferred book, Paul and Stephen by Emmanuel. One day there was, I think, the 10th anniversary of Paul and Stephen or something. And somebody paid a tribute to that masterpiece and gave Chico Xavier a special edition made out of gold and diamonds. believe it or not. Took that book with special binding, special everything, cover, made of gold and diamond. Gave it to Chico. Chico looked at it, found it so beautiful, but didn't even know what to do with it. Kept it with him. One day, somebody knocks at Chico's door and needs a prescription. Well, Chico Xavier used to prescribe the homeopathy because Dr. Bezerra de Menezes used to come through him and prescribe. So he kindly serves and gives the prescription to the person. The person takes the prescription, reads it, and says, the problem is that I don't have any money to do this. Chico didn't have money either, but he looked around the house and saw the book. Paul and Stephen, special edition, made of gold and diamonds. Chico then picked up the book and gave it to the man, saying, go to the pharmacy. I'm sure you'll be able to exchange this for the medication that you need. Pause. Would you have done it? I don't doubt we are able to do it. We are all able to do it. But today, would you be able to do it? Would you feel somebody gives you a golden pen? Somebody's in need, you don't have anything. Would you give the pen? That's detachment, right? It is. Mamma mia. That's detachment. Can't believe it. So, to really have a happy heart, out of serving others, out of love, as Meimei is saying in this message, we need to cultivate detachment and think, well, sooner or later, I'm going to discarnate. I better address these belongings and give it to people who need, instead of keeping it for myself. Because after death, one of the worst things that happen is what to do with the belongings, inheritance. There is a message by the Spirit Brother X or Umberto de Campos named Preparation for Death. And that's one of his recommendations. He says, give what you have while you're living. This thing of a living will is kind of dubious because people fight in spite of having a living will. And you will suffer and often regret not have given a better destination to your belongings. I know these are tough topics, but to have a happy heart, we need to have a light heart, a detached heart. So what is the exercise that she's giving us today? She says, you're loved, beloved soul, listen, if you can answer, even if imperfectly, to the calling that life entrusts you. Give thanks to God, number one. If a needle strikes you, if a burden comes in, assist, forgive, and continue on the route. So gratitude, and make sure that you know that God needs you, that God needs you. So that's the affirmation number one. God needs my help. Tell yourself, God needs my help. Put your hand in your heart and repeat 3 times. God needs my help. God needs my help. God needs my help. It feels good, and it's a sure thing. God needs your help. And she says, Where the way points you to do good deeds, remember how many beings even today cry desperately. So now I'm going to open a big parenthesis here. Today, I was browsing through the Facebook page, newsfeed, and I saw my friend Aidan Casares, who is in Africa in an expedition by the Fraternity Without Borders. I couldn't share it yet. I don't know, I didn't find the share button. But he shares that while he's there working, going from one place to the next, one village to the next, he found and he took pictures of this family of 5, husband and wife and 3 little kids, a girl and 2 boys, living in, it's not even a tent, it's less than a tent, 5, and the 3 didn't have underpants, only some form of shirt that was so dirty. You could see the conditions. It's hard even to explain. And it's precisely what Meimei is telling us. How can we complain when there are people right now, at this moment, without the minimum to survive? Some people may claim, but God doesn't love us. How come God discriminates? Somebody wrote in the post. I don't think it's to that level. Because we can't understand things from a single day. We need to understand in life continuum. But that's a sign of our own selfishness. Because on the other hand, I know people who work for billionaires. And when you hear the stories, I know people who work for billionaires. And one of them, just giving you an account, this billionaire was preparing for a vacation in an island where they had a festival of truffles, and they were preparing, and the menu for the plane, which is a private plane, was very specific. The linens, the menu, the beverage and everything. The numbers of the expenses just to do the trip could give probably many houses to many families in any corner of this world. Am I judging? No, we're evaluating the extremes. When I see children without home, bathroom, education, food, families who barely have the minimum, it's a sign that we, those who have it, still think we don't. So we're gonna say, there are many ways we can help. And I agree, it's also as I say, in Belo Horizonte, people live under a bridge, they don't even have a tent. I agree with you. It's not only in Africa, it's even here in the United States. So, if you come to DC, you remember, in Washington, DC, the homeless, remember? Many of those homeless live literally in the streets, under bridges. Literally, you can drive by and you see them living under the bridges. Difficult temperatures, cold weather, and they are there suffering. In the capital of the United States. It's a sign that we are in need of changing our hearts. But Chico Xavier is an example for us, because he never waited to have much. He gave what he had. If he had a book that was given to him, he gave it away. So look at your closets. Look at your house many things that we have, maybe what other people lack. Even in the United States, there are schools, public schools, in which they don't have, some students go there that don't have money for their meals. They don't have money for the minimum materials that they need. And in other parts of the world, if I have $10, give it away. The other day, Mentor Joseph was saying, it doesn't matter if you give them $1, $5, $10, $20. As long as you care and give what you have, then you're fulfilling God's will. It's not about giving a lot, getting them out of it. It's about doing your share. Weber Koster saying, by helping others, we develop empathy, become better beings. That's why our guardian angel has much patience with us, because they know that eventually we understand our purpose here. So that's why we're repeating today. God needs me. God needs my help. God needs my help. And remember, so many people in tears next to us, and not even a fraction of a single moment. Do not complain of sorrow, suffering. Rise above. Find a way to proceed to extend the good within your reach. If you can work, do not stay in bitterness, scars, sadness, or deceit, because by serving others, already as a gift of God, a happy heart have you received, or have you inside of yourself. This is Meimei's message today. So let's sing. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When we found out that we are useful, that we are needed, we're co-creators. When you go places and you know God is sending you there for a reason, what do I need to do? Pray for those people where they are. Wherever you are, send good thoughts, good feelings. And in this way, we will one day say good words and take good actions. This is it for today, dear friends. And we thank God for we're here together again in this happy day, learning about having received a happy heart. Shall we, friends? Tomorrow when we come back, Meimei is gonna keep coaching our feelings, feeling the good always. Repeat the affirmation, and don't forget, write Weber Koster, John Da Rosa, Daisy Gallen, Carol Correia, Karina Alice, Raquel Bakeshi, Lisa Teles, Isabela Vieira, Nora Brasil, thank you, Nora as well, Alicia Ramos, Teresa Castro, Miriam, Alexandra, my friend, Sol Souza, Leppy Wolfie, thank you so much, friends, for being here together. Let us keep doing the good. The exercise is to do the affirmation, okay? God needs my help, and pay attention. She's training our temporal lobe, where we have the altruistic processing, to pay attention, extend antennas, and see what people need. Many blessings until tomorrow, because Kardec Radio is here to nourish our souls always. Thank you, friends. So be it.